Go for green versus risky red.
We wanted to study human risk-taking behaviour at pedestrian crossings. We wanted to determine which category took more risks between sex, age, and group sizes. We identify a risk when individuals cross during a red man signal and safe when green. A short history of pedestrian crossings. It is estimated that pedestrian crossings have existed for over 2,000 years. For example, there is evidence that they were used in Pompeii. Since 1868 in the UK, police controlled traffic with green-red signals. In 1969, electronic crossings were introduced, today known as pelican crossings. In 2007, 646 pedestrians were killed and 29,545 injured at crossings in the UK.
Our challenge started with our team gathering at the exotic location of Cafe. The aim to observe nearly 1,500 individuals foraging for food and clothes, essential for attracting a mate. Recording of the crossings was made with strategically positioned cameras, hidden out of sight from the subjects. An hour passed, and over 3 crossings, we witnessed individuals assessing to either stay safe or risk the traffic. It was important for the team to stay nourished throughout the task. Conditions were perfect. Sunny, with a gentle breeze and a bearable temperature of 3 degrees Celsius. Back at base, the team analysed the footage, sorting each individual into different categories, across decision, age, gender, and group size. Categorisation was completed by 2 members for each video, ensuring consistent judgment throughout. The decision category was determined by the binary system red man, green man, visual cue.
During our study, we found that nearly 2/3 of people crossed during the green man. Age was highly influential, with children and teens having the safest crossing, and then risk increasing in young adults and adults before declining in elders. Gender was also significant to risk-taking behaviour, with 10% more males taking a risk than females in our study. The group size data we obtained was not clear enough to draw conclusions from. When we compared risk-taking in lone adults with single parent and child, we observed lone adults took more risk than those with a child. Overall, the majority of people in Aberdeen were safe when crossing the road. And I will now pass on to Leron.
Thanks, Holly. There is a coincidence of timing between a risk taker and the green man occurring. Adults are more likely to be parents, so will have to take into account the safety of their offspring. The actions of people crossing may not be consistent. A risk taker at one point may not be a risk taker the second time. We assess pedestrians using a binary method. Those who crossed during the red man may not have actually been in danger, but still classified as risk-taking. Age groups are suggestive and based on judgment calls.
In comparison with an Australian study, our data suggested that people in the UK are much more risky when crossing the road. In Australia, it is illegal to jaywalk. This comparison suggests that this law is effective in reducing the likelihood of incidents.
Now on to Tinbergen's 4 questions. Function. Being safe and crossing with the green man reduces chances of injury or fatality. Taking a risk saves time for foraging, aka shopping, thus increasing your attractiveness and ability to find mates. Causation. Genetic influence, hormone secretion and suppression may alter risk perception. Hormones such as adrenaline, testosterone, estrogen and cortisol may influence whether risks are taken. Learned safe behaviour from parents or guardians increases offspring fitness. Past exposure. Those who have suffered incidents or close calls may be apprehensive in repeating risky behaviour. Due to its success in reducing injury and death, this behaviour has spread worldwide. Development. Rush. Effort to save time. Assessing whether the risk is necessary. The sheep effect. One person crosses, the others are led into a false sense of security and follow. This is also known as collective behaviour. Safety in numbers. We proposed that groups were more likely to cross as vehicles would be able to spot them better, aka Operation Human Shield. Fear factor. Choosing to cross safely out of fear of being injured or killed. Evolutionary history. Humans had to adapt and learn visual and auditory cues in order to survive encounters with traffic. Let's just say our ancestors may not have reacted in the same way.
Emma, get out the tape! You ruined everything!
And you always spoil my fun.
Should I stay or should I go now? Come on, let me know. Should I stay or should I go? Somebody help me out. Like going nowhere. Somebody help me out. I'm staying alive. But you can't change the way I use my walk. I'm a woman's man. No time to talk. Music loud and wave and warm. I'll be kicked around since I was born. And now it's alright. It's okay. And you may look the other way. We can try to understand the New York Times affect one man. Whether you're black or wherever you remember, you're staying alive. Staying alive. Feel the city breaking and everybody shaking. We're staying alive. Staying alive. Ah, 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 ah. Staying alive. Staying alive. Ah, 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 ah. Staying alive.
Hi, James.
Yeah, no indicator. Man, that is disgraceful.